chim, Taragam Kiwawa, Pedegam Pi, and Opoyo Bill to you. Yup, when out in the jacket, come Java with it. The members never get along with Java Tonyo. She only Kamego Madoro and Biru, and I don't be better. Wabi Beru car, and I met you Candela Medipo, if you train you no good, you ere chief, the member, you cancel a jail, Makoni, Kibiero, and between you candle, Lerone, and of you, be maintained. Dok bene kwena matie ni kagwa poni baby winyo mabe mano e miro neno daktar wacheki daktari wa bukai chi kai che winyo gor mo me kom mana no bebe to lingo bien wa we mini konyero ni joma guru ko mo biru green ni ina mandu mi jena bu konyo be mini kony me yor kom. We have a team of first aid who are right outside the hall. In case you're not feeling well, please see the medical personnel who are wearing on the green uniform. They will be able to help you. Thank you. There is a book which is moving around. There are two books. One book which is on the side of the public servants to be signed by them only. It's basically a record of attendance. That is what is required in council meeting like this. Then there's another book which is for the rest of the gallery members in the gallery. You are called strangers in the language of the council. You are strangers. So your book is also moving. It is on the side of the family. You just put your name and your contact and you sign. That is for purpose of this council having record of people who attended this full session. So the members of the council are already coming in, taking their seats, and anytime in the next 15 minutes, we should be starting. So we request people to settle down, and as they prepare themselves. As we As we wait for the proceeding to begin in the next 10 minutes, I am informed that our places of convenience is right behind. When you feel like you want to use that place, you will walk backwards and go outside and take the route on the other side, and there's a storage building behind. In the former health department, there are some toilet facilities behind there. You can easily find it. Or there's another facility behind the main district administration block. I'm not sure so many of you are aware of that environment, but please ask. You will be guided. You will be guided. Thank you. No, tiga wachini pijama gemiar ko ni karwago yo kama tedi kama date. Wachiki kapero euni inge ot. Tie goropa moni kuja ka ini wok dog wago. Che mago yo ma tiaro tung malkai. Bino goropa moni tipenyo chini ni donya nge kunu pero jodano. Inde neno ka kwe macho tie imamon kama kidonya ye. Wadong kita kama nok. The members may cancel the dong. Get my tie. Ibe agi kuja kage woro di dog inyim of the dates. Si dong kidonya ka tie. Si wale guni do de chwenyo program chake kom chawa de kome chawa bichie. Ping các con phút bê kể chung vào việc can đồng tua đó can có đồng tua có bê vào các chỗ này em mắc coi ban hút đào cà vào chỉ đồng nó cả bê được chi còn một việc can đồng tua đó còn một việc can đồng tua cái nem dần bộ chùa nuông được bên cạnh Wawe uno yo kan ubetuolo jone wamero kelo casket ye we kong du kola en ubetuolo check mane kirma check ma kan so tiu kere wabe kelo komliel bero chok dier kan kado speaker biro tigeno mbichako procedure ge me jolo komliel kan so hon kan ki wamerne yo en dong tuolo we funeral team. Okay, the funeral team can now bring forward the casket. Did you? Okay, so can you now remove the other speaker, which is down? Okay. So we can now maintain silence. Any moment, the House will resume.
order paper. Honorable Oduny Samuel, representing older person.
Madam Speaker, I would like to take this short moment to council to adopt the order paper.
Thank you very much.
Can we have secondment? Honorable Maurice Udom. I will request those who are not doing the media work to go and take their seats. And this is now the presidents of the council. And I would like to inform those who are not part of the council to set up. Only media team. Honorable Maurice, I've already granted you. Honorable Andrew.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would have loved to support the motion of our elder, Honorable Oduny Samuel, except for the fact that our order paper in item number 4 tells us to receive a communication from you, the Chair, and I wish we could add a motion to receive the body as item number 5 to the Presidents of Council. Madam Speaker, I beg for that addition while respecting the views of our elders. Thank you.
Objection? Secondment? Honorable Maurice.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues. I'm up on secondment of amendment on the order paper that a motion to receive the body of our late father, late friend, be received as an item on the order paper so that we are subjectively able to conduct this meeting accordingly. Thank you very much.
Before we proceed, there is need for us to suspend certain rules. So I request for a motion. Honorable members.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Your table remains honored. Bear in mind that this session is very unique and so special in its nature, and the purpose to which this August House has been convened. Madam Speaker, I propose for the suspensions of general rules, and that is Rules 11. This will warrant this meeting benefit from membership of this community, this city, whose submission to this effect would not only benefit the purpose of our sittings here, but will enrich the conditions to which this meeting is convened. Therefore, if you abide by this suspension of the rules, it will warrant the dignitaries gathered here to also submit in tribute to our late father, late friend. And that would be enriching for this very special sitting. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Maurice, can you please read for us the rule?
Rule 11 says suspensions of rule. Any provisions of this rule relating to the proceedings of business at a meeting of council or its committee may be suspended by resolutions of not less than half of the membership present. That is 1. 2 says suspension of any rule provision or any of the provisions of these rules shall limit in its operations to the particular purpose and time for which the suspension has been warranted. 3 said motion contemplated in sub-rule 1 may be removed without notice being given. 4, it says, this rule shall not apply in respect to rule 2, 6, and 7, and 11. Then 5 says, this rule shall not apply to provisions contained in any other legislations. Madam Speaker, the rule we are talking about in this case is the general rule limiting those who are supposed and those who are not supposed to deliberate on the floor of council, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chan Susan.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, your table remain honored. I am up to second the motion moved by Honorable Maurice Udon that the general rule be suspended in order to allow the dignitaries, the friends, and other honorable members. Here we are mixed up. We have other honorable members from the division, those who really want to say something about our dear dad, friend, and colleague, Dr. CP. Thank you so much.
While we proceed, we will allow them to move the casket in front.
Motion.
Honorable members, Rule 11 has been granted, suspended, to allow our dignitary who have something to say in this honorable council, giving also their respect to our fallen brother. Before we move the casket in front, allow me get a motion from the leader of government business, Honorable Olong Christine.
Madam Speaker, I rise in respect to your table, and through you, and for the benefit of the mourners assembled here today, my name is Angeyo Christine Olong, the Female Workers' Councillor, leader of government business, and Deputy Mayor of Gulu City Council. Madam Speaker, I stand on this day of 8th November 2024 here in Gulu City Council Hall, in accordance to Rule 19 of the Standard Rules of Procedure, to move a motion that the Council of Gulu City receive the body of late Dr. Cyprian Opira. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Your table remains honored. My name is Doreen Luboyo Abe. I'm a representative of the particularly North in Gulu City Council and Secretary of Education and Health. I rise to second a motion moved by the leader of government business and a female representative of the workers in Gulu City, Honorable Christine Olong, that the body of the late Dr. Cyprian Opira be received by council as a sign of honor and respect for his good deeds for the people of Acholi region. Thank you so much.
Do we have a Uganda flag? Honorable members, can we proceed, Dr. Castle? What is the next item? Honorable members, before we proceed, you will allow me all the other exercise which was done, we have not yet even constituted the house. Honorable members, before you proceed, you will allow me, with the powers that have been granted to me by the Constitution of the Republic and the Local Government Act, to constitute this Honorable Council into a full council. With all the proposals made before, honorable members, allow me also to recognize the presence of our town clerk, deputy town clerk who is here before the town clerk, honorable members of the executive, my deputy, honorable members of the council, the priest, the family of the late Dr. Spiano, the staffs of Lecho Hospital, friends and family that are here, media fraternity, members of the public. It is a great loss to the citizen of Gulu City, Acholi sub-region, Uganda, and East Africa, and the whole world at large. It is a very painful moment that we are going through. As the Speaker of Gulu City Council, I ask the honorable members and the family, friends and relatives to also receive our condolence as we pay the last respect to our dear brother, our friend. I personally was a friend to Dr. Sipi. I knew Dr. almost 15 years ago. If you're a friend to Doctor will not show you any sign of segregation. He lived a simple life like any other ordinary person. So as we pay him last respect, I urge the whole public, friends and relatives, to join us as Gulu City Council as we give him the last respect. I bring an apology from His Worship the Mayor, who is not with us. He's abroad. I believe he has delivered this message through the Deputy Mayor, who is also the leader of government business, who is also the mover of the motion today. So with this, feel at home. This is Gulu City Council. We have honorable members from the Division Council, and I will also request them that they will also have a chance to speak in this honorable council, because we have suspended the rule that gives them a chance to participate. Let me recognize them if they have insight. We will have the mayor from the 2 division and the honorable councillors to start. You're most welcome. We have the district leaders from Acholi sub-region who might rise up. The LC5 who are here, you're most welcome. If you have anything to say, we shall give you a chance to speak. But I will request that we are many and we have limited time here. So you'll just give us a brief history that you know about our late brother. And I will also grant the the family member, one at least to speak, the doctor, senior doctor also to make a statement, and a friend to doctor, if at all we have one. And maybe one of the committee members that they will choose to speak. And also an opinion leader, if you have one, as an elder, you also say one. So let us proceed as I invite the government, the leader of government business, to come and give us the biography.
Madam Speaker, your table remain honored. I would now like to proceed and read the biography of late Dr. Cyprian Opira as follows. Madam Speaker, late Dr. Cyprian Opira, who most people refer to by abbreviation as CP, was born on the 11th September 1961 in Atiakal, Pabuga, Amur district. His mother was late Aneta Aya and father Muzee Umari Aboch of Puponyatia, Amur district also. Madam Speaker, Dr. CP was married to Florence Opira, with whom they had 6 children. He also took care of many children, relatives, and non-relatives. Education. Madam Speaker, Dr. CP began his education in 1967, running to 1973 and attained PLE. He proceeded 1974 to 1977, where he attained O-level. 1978 to 1979, he attained A-level. 1980 to 1985, he attained Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. 1989 to 1994, he achieved a Master in Radiology and Science of Imaging. Additionally, Madam Speaker, Dr. CP studied several short courses and attained certificates in other fields of skills like business studies and medical-related courses in his specialty, that is the medical profession. Work. Madam Speaker, Dr. CP began practicing his work profession in the year 1997 up to 2024. As an intern doctor, up to being an executive director and senior consultant radiologist. At the same time, Dr. CP taught at Gulu University in the capacity of a honorary lecturer, Department of Radiology, Faculty of Medicine. Social life. Madam Speaker, Dr. CP held many social responsibilities, such as past President Rotary Club Gulu, Vice Chairman Diocese Health Board, Order of Merit Uganda Medical Association, ex-chairman Board of Trustee, Gulu College School and Health Integrated Development Organization, and Uganda Medical Association of Acholi branch. He was an active member of the Association of Radiologists in Uganda, and because of his exceptional ability, Dr. CP was awarded a Heroes in Health Award. That is Lifetime Achievement Winner of 2023. Personality. Madam Speaker, Dr. late CP was humble, dedicated, and hardworking. In summary, Dr. CP can best be termed as a service above self at home, at work, and in the community. H bracket, at the time of his death, late Dr. CP had clocked 63 years. Madam Speaker, colleagues, members of this great council of Gulu City, and mourners, not excluding family here assembled, Dr. CP has been a prominent person in reference to this biography that I've just read. And he did not just render his service to Gulu City and Acholi sub-region, but to Uganda as a country in general. His death has left a big gap in the medical profession entirely, and therefore, as a sign of honor and respect for the significant roles and duties he rendered this nation, Uganda, I beg that the Council of Gulu City respectfully pay tribute to him for his outstanding contribution. I beg to move.
Honorable Andrew.
Madam Speaker, I would propose that the communication of the Deputy Mayor be received by this great council and subjected to further deliberations, inputs, and other submissions of members of council and other dignitaries which your office took good recognition of. I beg to move, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Joe, representing person with disability. You will up and introduce yourself to the public because they don't know you. All of you will be speaking, will be introducing yourself.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Ojok Patrick Angela, councillor representing people with disability in Gulu City Council. Madam Speaker, I rise up to second the motion proposed by my honorable colleague Andrew Ogweta. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Morris.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. For purpose of full identity and by names of Honorable Maurice Odong, the last Deputy Speaker of Gulu Municipal Council in history, and the first ever representative of Laropaje South as a male representative at Council 5. In Gulu City Council, I'm the chairperson of the Social Services Committee and the chairperson of the Building Control Committee. Colleagues, brothers and sisters, here lays before us a man and a genius whose hopes and aspirations has not lived to the expectations, but rather we are forced to ground ourselves by the purpose to which his time has elapsed. Upon this, Madam Speaker and honorable members, I feel bound, but rather to say, as we celebrate his life and fully bear witness to his last day with us, I have this to say, that may the management of La Cho Hospital, in conjunction with the leadership of Gulu City Council, declares a day that a public lecture, probably on a yearly basis, be conducted in his memory. That is one. Two, may the management and administration of La Cho Hospital dedicate a special day in their calendar where maybe screening people of any other related diseases be done in his memory, and that, if not, should be free of charge from the public, so that he is kept in our hearts for the rest of our lives. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, this gallant man that is laying before us here would not live long in our hearts if we do not take this initiative, that a book be written in his lives, and maybe a curriculum be developed so that those who are undertaking professions that handles our health be reminded of his contribution graciously, so that we are able to have him lived with us even when he's gone. I beg to submit. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity, first of all, to second what my colleagues have proposed. Madam Speaker, dear mourners, the demise of the late Dr. Cyprian Opira is a big loss to us. Without any exaggeration, Dr. Cyprian Opira, commonly known as Dr. CP, was a distinguished, professional, ethical person we shall remember. Speaker, this hall has photographs of many distinguished actually. We want these photographs of Dr. Cyprian Opira to remain in this hall If Odorarium is there, you have to see, oh, something. Assignment is now there before us here, Odorarium. Assignment. Those were the names. We call ourselves like that. Madam Speaker, I don't have much to say.
looking at our city and the way it is located, I am also up to second the motion moved by Honorable Udun Samuel that a portrait of his photo should be hung in our great council. Secondly, Madam Speaker, we cannot only do that and we say it is enough. Madam Speaker, looking at the roads here in the city, there are a number of roads with names that are not really clear to our great men and women. I therefore propose that one of the great roads that is most likely to be in the next Usemead construction be given a name of the late Dr. CP in his memory, so that time to time, when we use that road, we really remember the great work that he had done for the entire country and abroad. I beg to submit here, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to second what Honorable Kumakech has said, but allow me also, through you, Madam Speaker, allow me to thank the leadership of La Ropete City Division through the leadership of His Worship, the Mayor, Geoffrey Otim. As we speak, La Ropete has already given a road in the name of late Dr. Cyprian Opira, commonly known as Dr. CP, and the road is in St. Maurice Road to Patievo Road. I am now up to second that the road be upgraded. The road be upgraded to tarmac with a beautiful solar street light. The road is in La Ropete, but with all the biography of Dr. CP that we have seen right now. He has done a lot in the health department, neither also in the education department, so we feel it should really be remembered. And when we upgrade that road, and I want to propose, Madam Speaker, that if possible, that this financial year, if it's not going to be possible this financial year, then as City Council will look into it in the next financial year, that the road really be upgraded and also, if possible, given in the beautiful street light, that everybody will move there and will remember Dr. CP with all the good things that he had done to her. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. You asked us to introduce ourselves. My name is Andrew Oto Ogweta. I carry the voices of La Ropete North. Madam Speaker, we have lost a doctor and we are left with patients. Earlier on, we have been losing teachers, we are left with students. We have been losing engineers and we have been left with bad roads. And that is a real description of the region that we are in. I'm trying to address my mind to the health vacuum that we are in. Honorable Odom Morris earlier on proposed for a public lecture. How I wish the public lecture would turn into a health advocacy mechanism. Because when you look at the unique position of Northern Uganda in this country, we are more sick than any other region. And if we lose doctors, we become more sick than other parts of the region, Madam Speaker. It is very hard to find radiologists in this country, especially at consultancy level. So hard. You will walk more than 400 kilometers to find one, but we have lost the only one that we have, Madam Speaker. So the health vacuum we have is at practitioner level, at patient level, and how we wish this public lecture would turn as a health advocacy mechanism to benefit this region. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Kumakech Oketayot for Badegela Ibi North also proposed that a road be named I also respect very well the corrections that Honorable Achan Susan brought in, that a road was already planned. And I would like to thank Laro Peche, City Division, for planning a road during the life of somebody. That is something very good. That while you were alive, you already thought the fruits of your service were already enjoying. But as we think of always naming roads after people, we are not naming roundabouts after people. You always hear Peje roundabout, Main Town roundabout. Roundabouts also deserve names, especially for people who live an all-rounded life like those who are before this council. I would incline and also summon the minds of my colleagues in this council that should we begin thinking of naming roundabouts, there is one in Acholi Inn here. It is not called Acholi Inn roundabout. It has to be named. The one in Custom Corner is not called Custom Corner roundabout. It should have a name. The one at Peche Stadium is not called Peche roundabout. It deserves a name that should be entered in the registry and the lands offices and all other relevant offices. I thought this was the opportunity to begin doing such kind of work, Madam Speaker. Otherwise, I second all propositions that were brought by my colleagues. I beg to submit, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. All mourners in your respective capacities. My name is Caroline Rose Adong. In the council, I represent persons with disabilities, and I am the Secretary for Finance, Planning and Administration, Gulu City. Madam Speaker, dear mourners, it's a sad moment, but we have to accept that death, it is inevitable. Once it is occurred, we have to take it that it has already happened. It is very sad. When I speak today, as we give respect to our father, to our dear doctor, to me, I am speaking, seeing the entire St. Mary's Hospital, Lacho, in this great council. Madam Speaker, I have been a beneficiary of this hospital since the time of Dr. Mianatim. We used to call Mianatim up to when CP is the director. And now we are giving him last respect. Madam Speaker, the contribution of St. Mary's Hospital, Lacho, it's so great that we cannot even speak and finish. And I would like to speak to this council that as we give our last respect for the vacuum that has been left, we need to note that this hospital at the moment lacks doctors that should attend to patients. And we know the number of patients that do go to St. Mary's Hospital, Lacho. They are really overwhelmed. And in this council, I'd like to propose, I know we shall not implement, but we need to make it go where it can reach at national level. If government can accept to employ at least 5 professional medical doctors sent to Lacho hospitals, it would be very good. Because I know there is also support going to St. Mary's Hospital, Lacho, through the government of Uganda. But when you look at the number of patients that leave government facilities, then go to St. Mary's Hospital, Lacho, I would propose that we push this concern to the relevant authority, and if we happen to achieve this, it would have made a very great contribution to the life of our community. Because when you look at the kind of patients that go to St. Mary's Hospital, Lacho, they rise from the very vulnerable people up to even those with money. So my concern is for the vulnerable people, because currently I've seen, Madam Speaker, there is some little bit of change in the hospital. When you visit the hospital, there is now great emphasis of, okay, let me say there is improvement on collection of fees for attending medical services. At past, even without money, you could be attended to, and later on you pay. But many has been abusing such kind of offer to the hospital, leaving the hospital in debt. And if now hospital is not being facilitated by the patients who are paying, employing doctors become difficult. About 3 weeks ago, I happened to take my child to the hospital, and the doctor who was attending to the children in the children's ward, I almost shedded tears to that doctor. He said he started working in the morning, afternoon, again him, again in the night, in the evening when my child was attended to at around 2 p.m. Yet I said I was there by 5 p.m. And you can see that kind of magnitude of work. It is not good for a healthy person to work that long. And there were only two. One person was out and he was alone. So if we support this hospital as government, we are supporting our people. We are not supporting just the hospital, but the citizen of Uganda. I would like to pray that we take this into consideration and we push this. With this, I beg to move. Thank you.
Honorable Doreen, don't get tired.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to pay my last respect. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, dear Munas, the late Dr. CP was really a great hero, especially for some of us who remains a testimony because we are beneficiaries in the Cho Hospital. This confirms the kind of personality he was. Service above self was really the kind of personality that the late was. I remember visiting La Cho many times, especially personal as a sick person and taking my relatives and family members. I remember him physically supervising staff in the wards during ward round. I strongly believed in him that he was a role model to many young people who are joining the professional, the profession. As looking at the different services provided by La Cho Hospital, one that I leave as a testimony is a department that really supports people with spinal injury. This department has remained very active up to date. Whenever someone gets an injury that is connected to spinal injury, there is free service in La Cho Hospital up to date. Actually, people with spinal injury even get free medical examination in all areas of your life. To me, this is a great, really a leadership that needs to be emulated in all health service provision points. To this, I really pay my respect. This is a great loss. That is my prayer that this service continues to exist in La Cho because it is a service that is supporting our population really. Currently, Madam Speaker, that is provided by Lacho is rare. If you move the entire country, you will find only Lacho Hospital supporting such vulnerable population. Lastly is around ethical approval of research. We have known for many years Lacho has been supporting local researchers in many areas, whether students, whether people writing projects, and we know the reason why we do research. Lacho has been providing local ethical approval for this region. Actually, Gulu University has taken the same direction. Gulu Regional Referral Hospital has taken the same direction because Lacho was overwhelmed with this work. This is the kind of services that our population needs, and we praise this through the leadership of the late Dr. CP. On that note, there are a lot of proposals that have been made through my honorable colleagues. Madam Speaker, there are many, and therefore we need to prioritize this list. Like the road that has already been opened, like putting his picture in this hall, or even in City Council hall. I think those are priority lists that we need to prioritize, and if possible, Madam Speaker, I request that this takes effect immediately in this financial year. I beg to move. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I'm by the name Luboyodoro Nabe, a councillor representing the people of Badegela North and Secretary of Education and Health. Madam Speaker, as we honor the hero who is in front of us, I also want to thank the wife of the late Dr. Chipi for taking good care of the doctor for all these years. Thank you so much, Madam. Madam Speaker, I am a born of Lacho Hospital. My home is not far from where the hospital is. I knew doctor way back. And by the way, Lacho Hospital is a hospital, not profit. From the years that Dr. Chipi entered Lacho Hospital, that was in 1993, up to now, very many doctors came to the hospital who were working in Lacho. And very many of them left because of the little payment that is given to the doctors in Lacho. For those who have gone to Kampala, attending medical services in Kampala, they can attest to this. That when you see a patient, you can be given like about 500 to 600,000. But this man before us never mind about that money. He dedicated his life for the life of the people in this region. I remember when Ebola hit Gulu, all the medical personnel, Madam Speaker, were scared. Many of them ran away from the hospital. But this doctor never went anywhere, he didn't go. Instead, he was the one supporting, telling the health workers to continue working. He worked so hard for the people in Gulu, for the people in northern region, for the people actually to see that medical support or help is applied to the community of Gulu. I want to say that there are very many things that was supposed to be in Lacho Hospital. I just want to move that. I know we cannot. To Lacho Hospital to continue doing the good work that this doctor has been doing with this. Thank you so much.
Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity to pay my last respect to Mr. Dr. CP. I am Aye Cindy, the Female Youth Councillor 5, Gulu City. Madam Speaker, this is not the first time in the Council blessing, proposing, speaking what we are supposed to do and leaving it to technical people to do it because our work only to speak. Through your table, Madam Speaker, with all what Councillor said, I ask Department of Engineering Department to do its work. This man is not a man who joke, a man who was lazy. This man is a man that everybody that passes through him, they have testimony about him. Why am I talking about the engineering department? Because what I'm seeing in these few years that we politicians are in the office, you come out with things, but to my best of knowledge, technical people now, they want to become politicians. They are forgetting that their work is to work, not to speak. It's us to speak for them so that they do their work. It's us to put the money where they are supposed to do the work, not again playing with the thing. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I request your table to put engineer, Gulu City engineer, to work on that road well. Not like the other road whereby they open and they leave grasses, start moving from the bush up to the Maram Road. That one will lose. Upon emotion move by Honorable Weta, that better we give roundabout. Because if roundabout, they maintain it well. Because it's in the tarmac road. But the one that they take it the other side, they just leave it like that. Which with a big man like this, to me, I feel it is not necessary. So city engineer, he must do his work well, and he must know his role, that he's not a politician, his work, just to do the work, not to speak. Thank you, Madam.
I believe that the town clerk is taking note of what is going on, and we have our clerk to council taking the record of all the proposals made. Cindy is just crying, and I believe that she's feeling the pain just deep inside her. And we will take note of that, Honorable Cindy. It's a collective responsibility for all of us. And I have Honorable Andrew. Andrew, you have spoken. You made a number of suggestions. So can I hear from you?
Madam Speaker, thank you once again. We have been advertising on billboards for business, but we have never used billboards for keeping our legal. Tomorrow, where we sent off the late Jacob Olanya, we went to Pade, where we sent off the gallant Paul Lokech. Today we are for an emergency meeting in Gulu, where we are sending off Dr. CP. Madam Speaker, Airtel is advertising in front of Centenary Bank, and as a city council, we sat about a year and a half ago and gave them a contract to use that board for 3 years and leave it for Gulu City. And I know after 3 years, the contract of Airtel to advertise on that board will have expired, and they will hand over that board to the city clerk. I may not be part of that council after 3 years, But for those who will be in that council, how I wish for once that Gulu being a regional city, let us have a billboard for the legacy, not a billboard for business. If we put a billboard for the legacy, then the faces of those who made Gulu become a city like Dr. CP would be ingrained well in a billboard for legacy. And then we would leave be used for keeping our legacy by putting such beautiful images and statues for the memory of this region and the memory of this city. I beg to move that this proposal be given, though for the benefit of the next government after ours. Thank you.
Honorable Mr. Mayor. Then you have the mayor representative.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for again giving me this moment to pay my tribute to my brother, Dr. CP, in regard Madam Speaker, at this moment, I'm rising up and standing as a workers' representative because Dr. CP was a worker and within my jurisdiction. Madam Speaker, I feel that the legacy and commitment that Dr. CP portrayed must be adapted by especially those who hold the public offices, so that we serve the people in the right way and also we make the professions that we choose to serve in a better and beneficial manner to the common persons. Madam Speaker, on a very sad note, about 2 months ago, I lost my daughter because of medical negligence. Professional and committed doctor, my brother, Dr. CP. I can only imagine and wish my child had been treated by such a man of integrity. Then the story of her demise would have been different. Madam Speaker, since we have suspended roles, may I use the phrase in my own language that ange tiane late. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I would like to pray that all of us gathered here to pay tribute to this exceptional man who loved his work and did it with love and perfection, change how we do our work going forward. Because he has taught us that love what you do and do it passionately. To the many social responsibilities he rendered to the community. It is shown by his active participation. This means that we must, despite our work and professions, find time for the common persons via socialization and contribution. May we gather here today, take back this man's good examples, and illustrations with us for practice and not for lamentation. I pray, may Dr. C.P.'s soul rest forever in eternal peace. Amen.
Honorable members, we should also give chance to other people to speak. Speak. You wanted to give information, Honorable?
Yes.
Information too?
Madam Speaker, the proposal has been made and the secondment was not made. And I'm up to second the proposal made by Honorable Doreen Luboy about the CT scan. Madam Speaker.
To be provided by who?
By the ministry. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Health can provide CT scan to Lacho Hospital. This is indeed the fact. Except that collectively, as council, with Lacho Hospital, we can do that and the CT scan can be here.
Information.
Information.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if I do remember, there was as pledge to support the Cho Hospital with a CT scan. Therefore, as Gulu City Council, we can now follow up in the pledge to make sure that the CT scan is being brought to the Cho Hospital.
We will get that information before we proceed.
Proposal, Madam Speaker.
Before we make another proposal, Honorable.
But, Madam Speaker, I would request that you allow me supplement something small on what my honorable colleague, Honorable Senior Yes said. It's my humble request. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I feel so touched when you hear an honorable member, if you hear the submission of Honorable Cindy and the submission of Honorable Andrew Bugweta, that every time we sit in this great council, we always have the city clerk in the house, we have all the technical staff, even the engineering department, that at times some of our proposals goes to their department, but implementation is always not being taken seriously. I would therefore, through you, Madam Speaker, I want to ask my honorable colleague, Honorable Odong Morris, that we are going to sit in for our committee meeting by next week as proposed by the Business and Welfare. Can we now not forget as the political leaders that we are left with a very few months to go back to the field? And believe me or not, by that time you shall have no time to follow up all what we have passed here. So I would therefore request that we have just been for our budget conference and there are a number of roads that have been named for tarmacking in this financial year. Can the committee sit and prioritize one that has already been given by La Ropete in name of Dr. CP to be tarmac this very financial year? So that as we also leave this great council, we have something at least to show, because we have had a number of paying last respect to our honor people here, but none of them has always been implemented. That is my humble request. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I think I will not get up again to speak, but also allow me to introduce myself as you say. My name is Susan Achan. I am the Woman City Councillor 5 of La Ropete South, Chairperson Finance, Planning, Administration, Production and Marketing, Gulu City Council. Thank you.
Daniel, a brief one because we are running out of time.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your time will remain honor. I'm Robankane Daniel, the male youth councillor of Gulu City Council. Madam Speaker, a lot we have been saying here as the council of Gulu City, but my request through the TC, everything we agree here, Mr. TC, let's work on it to respect our father for the work he has done in this actual land. Thank you.
Proposal, Madam Speaker.
Proposal.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I am up to propose that as the leadership of this great council have deliberated quite enough, and I would wish and as on the same note, I am one of those who must declare to this meeting that my family of late engineer Patrick Odong Lutiri benefited from a swift action by Council of Gulu Municipal Council. When my late brother, late engineer Walter Fonya, was murdered, the council made proposals and a road was named after him. The road that connects from the ladder up to behind Sinabe. Walter Fonya Road was named after my late brother. And being the chairperson of the Building Control Committee, I would wish to lay your fears that whenever proposals of this kind are made, people sit on it. I would wish that in the presence of the very many of us, this has to be expedited so that we live by what we speak. Thank you very much.
Honorable Andrew.
Madam Speaker, in these kind words, Honorable Odong Morris asked that we benefit the audience and dignitaries with time, and I'm up to second that we benefit the audience and the dignitaries with time to communicate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'm seeing Honorable Mayor for Badegalibi. Honorable Lumumba.
Is he a member of City Council?
Honorable, let me hope you were not sleeping because we suspended. Order. Let me, Honorable, we suspended that rule. That's why we are going to give chances to all the invited guests here. They will have their representative. We are going to have a speech from a family member, a friend to a doctor, and a senior doctor who also speak in this council. Honorable Mayor.
Madam Speaker of the City Council, your deputy, members of the City Council, members of other council in the Chile sub-region who are here, the leadership of the Cho Hospital, the donors of the Cho Hospital, mourners, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Father Patrick Lumumba. I'm the mayor where the Cho Hospital is situated and serve as. Madam Speaker, permit me to thank members of your council for coming with wonderful proposals which are seconded and will be our working document. Among them, the naming of road, the upgrading of a road which is already named after our Dr. Cyprian Opira, and the proposal that it have to be upgraded into bitumen or tarmac, so that it's a road that is usable, beautiful enough, and have lights. I'm a member of the City Road Committee. I would like to pledge on my own behalf, and also on behalf of my colleague mayor, who will also speak, Honorable Tim Geoffrey, and all the members of the City Road Committee, that we shall prioritize this road, we shall relocate resources for building tarmac and make sure that in the subsequent, in the next tarmac construction, this road is upgraded into tarmac. I am very certain that the members of parliament, we sit with them, will all agree with us. And if it's a council resolution, who are we then to play with it? We shall respect it, and I want to put this one very clearly. Madam Speaker, I also support and I thank your members for posting the lecture day and or the district council, but in every council in a Chile sub-region, where the Cho Hospital served and Dr. CP had served. And that means from tomorrow, we request the Cho Hospital, actually today, to provide for us a picture which we will put in our council starting today. That's the council of our Dignitary division. Madam Speaker, everyone talk of Dr. CP as a man of integrity, a man who lived to the fullness of his life and to the expectation of mankind and God in heaven. Permit me, Madam Speaker, to bear testimony, to give my testimony, a very brief one. Last year, I got a kidney poisoning, and I was rushed to the Cho Hospital by lightweight ambulances. And the director of lightweight was the one who advised me that don't stay home even for a minute. Go to the Cho Hospital and you'll be in the arm of Dr. CP and your life will be saved. When I was there was a request for malaria also to be tested, which unfortunately was not done by the intern doctor for close to 2 days. And one evening, it was a cold evening, I went out just to have a breath of fresh air. And that is the time when I came back to my hospital bed. I lost breathing, and I was losing breath very fast, and my heart was stopping. So before my heart stopped working, I made a request to my wife, and then this is what I told her. I said, I am going to die a few minutes from now. The only way for you not to get more as what happened in this small room, because I was in private, go now and look for Dr. CP. He's the only man who will save me. My wife became very timid, and she said she went out and found Dr. CP is in a meeting with a group of doctors. I asked her, go and invade that meeting. Go and open the door for that meeting. Announce to Dr. CP that the mayor of Dignitary is dying. Because she could not ask and she became more timid, he had to ask one of the staff of the Cho Hospital to do the same, Okara, who work in finance, Okara Ash, and they went and he needs your attention. Now, can you stop the meeting and go and attend to his life? Doctor came with a group of doctors whom they were for the meeting. And indeed, when he came, he saved my life. The first decision he made is put him on oxygen. I could hear him speak. Put him on oxygen, he's losing breath very fast. And when I was put on oxygen, he said, where are the drugs you are putting? I mean, you are administering. Double the drugs, the concentration of the drug. Remove his blood, test for malaria, and do a rapid test. The rapid test was showing I was also having malaria 3+. And one of the doctors became scared and said, we cannot administer this drug double at the same time administer malaria drug, which are all very concentrated. We are going to kill the patient. He had a second thought and said, why did you do before? You could have transferred all your fees to here. Now, okay, now this is what we do. Can the person take water? And I know that they said, yes, I can take water. So they said, okay, in the for 30 minutes, I administer the what? The malaria drug also. And let the person take a lot of water. He should take water constantly so that water keep washing. There's so much concentration of drugs in his body. And that is what happened that night, and here I am alive. I want to thank God for that. How I wish my wife could give me a baby boy and I name after him. I'm very serious. Because I have baby boy, I have boys. I've named them after names. Now I'm doubting the relevance of those names. The name of Joshua, Gideon, what do they have to do in my life? And I pray for that. And our God is merciful. He will give me a baby boy. Other than that, Madam Speaker, permit me now to propose other things which are not being proposed. I read in the book and they say, if you want to be remembered, study. But if you want to be remembered for long, plant trees. I want them to propose that the Joe Hospital dedicate for us a day for tree planting, which we will do it along our roads. And the road I'm proposing is the road in Dignitary, which runs from Oitiano, S Center 2, connecting to Tamak, because that road is meant to connect me to bring patients to the Joe. It's about 4-kilometer road. And we will plant trees which will stay for decades, like the trees we have here in Kawanda ground. That way, we will also beautify some of the trees and have his name and names of other doctors of the Joe Hospital who have already gone to be with the Lord, including Dr. Lukuya. We will put stones beneath those trees and name after them. And I want to place that the division will take care of those trees to afford survival. I would also want to propose that since we are making a dormitory in Mary Manchester Primary School, we propose to the Catholic Church to accept the dormitory to be named either after his name, or we have a dormitory which is already there named after Dr. Cyprian Opira rather. And that way, the lifestyle of Dr. CP. These two proposals of planting trees should also be adopted in the sister divisions in this city by Gulu District, Gulu City Council, Gulu District, and other local government as well. These are the proposals that I want to make. But Madam Speaker, as I sit down, allow me also make a request to our doctors in this city. If everyone stand up and say Dr. CP was a lifesaver, was so committed, was humble, was a man of integrity, we need to copy this. He was a very kind man. How I wish all the medical personnel be as kind as he is, especially those who work in the emergencies department. And this should not only be emulated in the Joe Hospital, but also in Gulu Hospital. We have so many patients who lose his life because the doctors are not rapidly attending to them. They are complaining of this and that instead of saving life. This way, God will bless our medical practitioners. Having said all this, I want to say, Doctor, I know you're in heaven. Pray for us who are remaining to live the kind of life we have lived, and also one day meet you in heaven and we rejoice before our Lord Jesus Christ. I would like to submit, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a long speech. But I would also request that we have the division mayor for Laro Peche, and then we get only 2 honorable councillors from the division. Choose yourself, agree among yourselves, and then we will now go straight to have speeches from the following. Mayor Holon. We'll have Dr. Amone. This one is from Ministry of Health, who will make his speech. Then we have Dr. from Lecho. And then we have Justice Chan, who will talk on behalf of the family. And then we also have speech from Gulu University. While we also recognize the presence of the woman member of parliament for Gulu City, she's supposed to sit somewhere there where she's going. We invited all the members of parliament for Gulu City. We will be recognizing them while they come. So, Honorable Mayor, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, the bereaved family, and the fraternity of Lecho Hospital, Gulu University. Madam Chair, Speaker, for allowing the body of our brother, our doctor, to be laid before council. I salute you for this wise decision. I'm not going to make a lot of statement. I would like to thank the council for the resolution you have made, various resolutions you have made. First of all, I think some of the things that happen in our lives are really plan of God. La Road made a road that is already in existence, in the name of Dr. CP. Even in the current budget, we have indicated this road, Dr. CP, to be upgraded to Tama. It was already done by La Road City Division. Much ahead when Dr. was still alive. It was God's plan for this. So I'm happy that now Gulu City Council is picking it up. We shall also make a close follow-up so that this road is done. I'd like to thank God for the life of life that many should emulate. The only thing that I know that Dr. lacked was pride and arrogance. Those two words were not in his vocabulary. I think it is a lesson to us to take home that much as we hold various positions as doctors, as politicians, it is always good to be humble to people we serve. And this is a lesson that we have to learn from his life, and we appreciate him for that. I would like to also thank the fraternity of Lecho Hospital for the great work that you are doing to the country. We know Lecho is overwhelmed in terms of the number of patients that go there. I also appeal to the City Council to consider, since we have a member of parliament here, some of the health facilities within city should be upgraded to Health Center 4, so that we reduce the number of the patients that goes to Lecho and other health facilities, including the regional referral hospital. Hospital like health center, like a UN center, but the Teko Health Center should be upgraded so that they take much of those numbers. Because we have heard here that doctors there work even minus lunch, and these are also human beings. I think City Council should take up this as something very important so that we help our doctors. I said all this for God in my country, and may the soul of our doctor rest in eternal peace.
The two councillors?
Thank you very much.
We have one behind there. Okay, speak then. You can introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I am Leonard Undauki, a representative of the elders in La Roque, and I'm apt to say something little. A lot has been said, Madam Speaker, such that the words are going off, but I only want to give a description of the lady whom I've been seeing whenever I go to hospital. This is, to me, this man is non-segregated in his work. If you look at the place where he used to work in the radio
radiology section, there are always so many people, but you will find him working tirelessly without even minding of time. So this guy, this late CP, is non-segregated, is a man who is human, is kind, so he's a great leader. I beg to move.
Other district councils that are with us, the fraternity of the medical practitioners, the bereaved families, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Omakej. I am the Speaker of Badege-Leibi City Division, where the late has a home. Madam Speaker, a number of proposals has been made. I am not going to make a serious proposal, but I want to say a few things. But number one, I come from Atiak, together with the late Dr. CP that is now laid before us. As the country mourns his loss, as a sub-county of Atiak, it has hit us more hard than any part of the region. Number two, I am also a beneficiary of the services rendered to the many Ugandans from the Cho Hospital. I took my mother at one time when she had some complications in her. Your mother to a consultant, so you are going to pay heavily, because for us, we will pay the fees according to our level. I also answered him jokingly that life is very expensive. Indeed, he did what he could do on my mother, and we came back with the mother. We lost her several months later. May her soul rest in peace. Many of us have various professions. I want to say many of us are called to our professions. There are also many who are pushed to their various professions. Anything that you do, if it is a call, the results are always enormous. And it is the reason we have the late Dr. CP before us today. I now want to say, because life has to continue, I know after a few weeks, the late is going to be replaced in the Cho Hospital as the executive director. How I wish that person who will take up that position emulates the good ignorantly. I thought after circumcising him, he would get well. I told the mother, take him to the 4th division to be circumcised. I was in Kaberamaido. Then the mother told me I was referred to Lacho Hospital. And I was like, what the hell is going on? How can a patient to be circumcised get referred from a health center to Lacho Hospital? I told the mother, wait, I am coming to take the boy myself. And when I came back, before I took the boy, I met Dr. CP. He called a colleague that I don't remember the name. I was like, I am getting perturbed. My boy was referred from the health facility in the barracks to be circumcised from here. Does it mean we don't have the required personnel in the barracks to do the circumcision? Then he told me, you must bring the boy and we see. When I took the boy, they examined him and they told me that the boy has a condition that is called hypospadias. And circumcising him would deprive him of the tissues that is needed to rectify the problem. So ignorantly, I want to say, if I fall sick, we look onto the doctors to save our lives. But when a doctor falls sick, I don't know who they look up to save them. It is on the basis of this that I want to say there should be a deliberate effort to intensify research. Those doctors who are here, please intensify. We have a lot of life-threatening diseases that need solutions. Let us do a lot of research.
Can you summarize, please?
I am coming to the end now. My mayor made some proposal that the hospital should designate a day for us to plant trees along the roads. And that proposal is not yet seconded. As members of City Division, we are not allowed to do it. I only want to remind that when you get back the house to your side, let those proposals be seconded. The late has a home in Badege-Leibi, so I would also propose that on the day we will start planting those trees, we shall start from his home, then move to the road. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are not going for stories now. We have limited time. Allow me to grant opportunity to the mayor of Atiak, where the late come from. He's right behind there. While I also recognize the presence of Dr. Atim, the daughter to the late Koti. She's here with us. Mama, can you stand up for recognition? Mega Tim speaks Luo only. She speaks Acholi. I think we should also give her a chance to speak. Yes, as I also recognize my mentor, Dr. Ned, who is also a father in the house. And we also recognize the DVC, which is also part of people who are going to give a speech, and also the secretary of that university, Secretary University. US is also present, you most welcome. Other dignitary, I will continue recognizing your presence as we proceed. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and all the honorable members of the City Council and other councils that have joined us today. I want to take this singular honor to first of all appreciate your bold decision to come and lay respect to our departed father, mentor, and also an elder from Atiak. Thank you so much as a council. Secondly, allow me to appreciate all mourners, development partners, and foundations who have joined hands with us to lay respect to my departed father. I want to say thank you so much. Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity on behalf of the Council of Atiak Town Council to join my colleagues in adoptions of the motions and proposals so far made and play my role as the head of political wing, that I will go back and sit down with our council and make sure these motions and proposals are adopted and made part of our official working documents for implementation back at home. With those very many words, I want to say thank you to everyone. As a son and a child in the family, I can't make much submission here. I only give appreciations to all of you in your different capacities for having made it here and made this day as memorable as possible moving forward. I beg to submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My name is Francis Otim. I represent the people of Girobe Ward in Badege-Leibi City Division. Madam Speaker, they always say that politicians think of the next election, but statesmen think of the next generation. The late Dr. Cyprian Opira was a statesman because of his contribution to humanity and how he continues to inspire us in this journey of life. Madam Speaker, Lacho Hospital has been so instrumental in building medical doctors, especially at Gulu University. We all know that most of the medical interns do their trainings from Lacho Hospital. Madam Speaker, I thank the Government of the Republic of Uganda of giving Gulu University a teaching hospital. Gulu University is here ably represented by the University Secretary, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, and also we have our able representative of Gulu City Council to the University Council, Honorable Patrick Angela. Madam Speaker, I propose that one of the hospital blocks of the teaching hospital that will be constructed at Gulu University be named after the late Dr. CP. I beg to submit this.
Seeing Honorable Ochen. We will not be talking without taking decision. Then we will not have a meaning of our sitting here. So can I hear from Honorable, just in a few seconds, Honorable Uchen.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I salute everybody in the House. Dr. CP is not only a doctor, but his call was from God to execute his duty that he has done. He has not left bail, but a will to those also able to hear and listen to. For us, persons with disability, we are in a total sorrow. Because wherever we go to St. Mary's Hospital at Cho, he would say, serve these persons, they are already disabled, they cannot withstand for a long period of time, serve them. Now he is gone. How shall we be as persons with disability? It's a call to many. I need to say that Dr. CP had been a person whom God made. And I believe God has picked him because God has a provision for him to help many in heaven. And I do say, members, let us talk and think that tomorrow shall I be given honor like now Doctor is being given? If not that, then let's not say we go to heaven. Let's say we shall go to the bushes. Because our acts and deeds in the world may not portray where we should be. Doctor has made it. And I pray that let us all be the way he is, or yet been. I do say, we will not put his pictures, but we shall put his portraits. Let's use good words. Because the body is here, but the spirit is alive. And if he hears, we are making things that must portray him well. He will not be happy, be in heaven. Members, let's say that persons with disability seriously mourn for him. And other medical practitioners, wherever you see us, help us and be with us so that time and again we remember you. God bless him in heaven. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We want you also. People are playing here. While we also recognize the presence of the LC5 of Nuaya district, we recognize your presence. You have something to say? Just in 1 second, because of time.
Madam Speaker,
the honorable members of this august house, the honorable member of parliament present, the bereaved family, the nation Uganda that is presented within this august house today. My name is Emmanuel Orak, the chairman of C5 of Noya District Local Government, but also the chairperson of the Acholi LC5s. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for the brilliance in your gray hair and your council for picking this day to remember, to pay tribute to our father, to pay tribute to the great doctor. I thank you all for this great happening. I want to testify a bit, Honorable Speaker, allow me to do this. I almost died in 2020 when I was hit by lightning. The chair I was supposed to sit in was split into two by lightning, but I didn't sat. The person who saved my life was none other than Dr. CP. Honorable Speaker, just the day he passed on, ladies and gentlemen, I had a son who was going to die of cancer, and I was called to help. I picked the phone to call the great doctor lying before us today, only to realize that he demised. My heart sank. Before us, Honorable Speaker, is a beacon of hope, is a lifesaver who is gone today. As somebody said, the late is a symbol that should not just be left on our walls. I propose that, Honorable Speaker, a monument in his memory should be established in a strategic place within the city. I also propose that we have had great leaders, great personalities in the Acholi sub-region who have passed on and their contributions visibly seen, that some land should be set aside so that their monuments could also be built there. That will go a long way to remember them. As Noya District Local Government, we have a Health Center 3 that has been built. We will pick up a block in his memory. But I also want to thank my honorable colleague who said Gulu University is opening up a 241-bed hospital university. That teaching university, some good block should be given in his memory. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much for this opportunity. May the soul of my father, my mentor, rest in peace.
Thank you. And now we draw the microphone here. Let the microphone move in front. We'll have the following people to speak to us. We'll start with the family. Let us listen from the family. And then the next speaker will be Lachio Hospital, which is going to be done by Dr. Udo. And before, maybe immediately after him, we have Dr. Atim Hamsin to also say a word. And then we proceed. Justice Chan, who is talking on behalf of the family. We have suspended orders, the rules, so members, let us be mindful.
Madam Speaker, distinguished councillors, distinguished Ugandans who are here to remember my nephew, Dr. CP. As a background, I'll say that Dr. CP's mother was my sister. Dr. CP's mother was my sister. And that's why I speak on behalf of the family. I thank the City Council and all the other councils for this occasion, giving time to remember my nephew. We can never thank you enough, Madam Speaker, and your team. We can never thank the rest of you enough for taking time off to come and remember Dr. CP. I want to speak directly to Atim to say a poem, thank you so much for the grooming that your parents did to make Dr. CP what he was. A lot has been said about his character, his integrity, and so on. I will not repeat that. But I want to speak to those of you who serve the public in the public sector. And I do it on authority because I was head of the recruiting agency in the nation for 8 years. The thing that pains me the most is the lack of integrity and commitment to duty among our public servants. So if you have learned anything at all from Dr. CP's life, pick on integrity and stick with it. And Dr. CP was not a man after material things. Of all the professionals I know in Acholi, they all have homes in Mienga, in Chiwatule, in such and such a place near the city. Beautiful homes. Perhaps not here, in their village. Dr. CP has no home in Kampala that he built for himself. Dr. CP lived on the hospital complex all his life. You could have built a house somewhere here in senior quarters, but it didn't occur to him to do that. And that is what I cry for my people. This hall, I saw it way back when I was in P4. It has remained the same. Today I'm going to propose that we do something. Not just as people of Gulu, but of Acholi. We must transform this to be a proper legislative council. If every family puts in 1,000 shillings through Acholi, we will transform this place and make the work of our councillors comfortable and meaningful. I see people running around with microphones, and that cannot be. That should not be. Madam Speaker, I've thanked all of you. I'll just stop here, but the issue of integrity in the public service. We go to the land office here. Some of you know. That must change if we are going to transform this land. You have heard of something called Roger Pacho. I'm one of those involved in Roger Pacho. And we're going to have a second Pomdo meeting in December here in again. I invite everyone to come and participate in that. Nobody will. That is our meeting. Mela Opajumi. But they mature actually I expected meeting kind of team level war. But I know down again with perfect English. That must not continue. That kind of new tower in Beluto. And I'm thinking, sorry. I apologize. But for you, councillors, we love you. Honor will remember you the rest of our life. Family net getting down, where you go, Malcolm and Gigon. Mama, you're down for me. Kids, please. Stand down. For you, Madam Speaker, for you. Thank you.
Justice. Thank you. We spoke on behalf of the family. Thank you for recognizing the presence of the family members. We'll have the next person is Dr. Umona. Dr. Mone. We have Dr. Mone. Our order of speech is not well organized, but just bear with us.
Madam Speaker, honorable members of Council, other political leaders here present, the medical fraternity here present, the bereaved family, fellow mourners, I stand here on behalf of the medical fraternity. I was asked to move a vote of thanks to Gulu City Council for honoring our colleague.
Maybe you do it later. Can others speak? Thank you. Can we have Dr. Udom from the Chok Hospital?
Honorable Speaker, you are members of the Great Council, the bereaved family, honorable member of Parliament, Gulu City, the medical fraternity. I want to first of all thank you and your council. A great tribute paid to our great Dr. Cyprian. I also want to thank you for the forthcoming resolutions which will come in. Before I continue, allow me to do a bit of introduction. I think it's important for this council that the members who are available here. Dr. Cyprian was our executive director, but he was being assisted by 3 other directors. And I want them to be introduced, starting by introducing Dr. Ukwan David Mati, who is the institutional director. I also want to introduce Dr. Chola Emmanuel, as a scientific director. And we have the third person is the hospital administrator. If you're there, please stand up. And myself, I'm Dr. Odo Emington Mayira. I'm an gynecologist, medical director. This is a consultant of directors who are working closely with Dr. Cyprian. The committee called Internal Management Board. So all the decisions of the hospital was being taken by the Internal Management Board. It was the aide, executive. Dr. Cyprian joined us way back in the year 1985 after completing his studies in the University. He has been working in the Shaw Hospital for the last 39 years. That's not a small number of years of service. He was the seconded staff to the Shaw Hospital by government of Uganda all these years. And we are grateful to the government of Uganda for having seconded Dr. Cyprian to the Shaw Hospital, where he served until his retirement 3 years ago. He has retired from government, but was still active at the Shaw Hospital. Many things happened during his tenure of office. Remember HIV, AIDS, and the beginning, the AIDS, the TB. Remember the protracted LRA war. We remember the serious Ebola which struck Gulu district that time, where we lost 13 hospitals. Huh? You remember COVID-19, 2019, 2020. Good achievements, collaboration with Gulu University. Great. Now we have a school of medicine in Gulu. And the Cho Hospital became one of its teaching sites. With Gulu University, Gulu Regional University on the other side. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Gulu University and its staff for seconding us 7 lecturers. They are working full-time like mature specialists. Take our gratitude to the top management of Gulu University. When Dr. Koti died in the year 2003, the CPU was brought into money. He worked with the then director, Dr. Bruno, until Dr. Bruno resigned or retired in the year 2008. He was then appointed executive director in 2008. Dr. Martin Guam was appointed institutional director in 2008. Myself was appointed medical director in 2008. Together with Dr. CP, we served for 16 years in leadership. We want to thank him for showing us the great leadership as the executive director. I will not take too much time. I know this is a council meeting. But somebody gave us a word of thanks about the services we give free in the Hospital. This is actually where our heart is. If it was possible, we would give free service to all the poor people of Great and North. Somehow we have some running costs to take care of. That's why we charge very meager fees to our patients. It is not only the paralyzed patients who are treated free of charge in the hospital. We have patients who are vulnerable and destitute, including the old. We have a scheme where we treat them free of charge. We have children with cancer. We have women who have suffered fistula during their birth, and they need urine and prophylaxis as well. And we do this continuously, and we shall never stop doing it. Because that is the reason why we exist. He has been sick for the last 5 years. And Dr. Sick never spoke one. Except in the last 1 month, the condition was up. We tried to advise him to take rest. But he said, so long as he's still able to move, he will serve his patients. And indeed, he did that one. And he served it more alive when he was already sick. I want to thank all those who gave comfort to Dr. Cyprian when he was sick. My biggest tribute goes to the wife, Lawrence, and his children. Have been very close in his bed, helping where possible. make sure it doesn't die alone. It doesn't die with so much pain. There are other doctors, especially the doctors, the specialists in Malawi. I know they may not be here and really want to come to giving all their effort to save his life. There were so many of the doctors which went through his hands, maybe like medical students, but especially those who worked in Lacho before, and they were in Malawi, were always checking on him and even updating us. In particular, I want to thank one of the nursing officers called Madam Jenny. This has been like a personal ask to him. And I think we should write to her and extend this in a formal way. We deeply mourn his loss. We honor his legacy. And we greatly miss till we meet again. Thank you, Doctor.
Honorable Speaker, members of the Council, I cannot thank all of you enough for how you're honoring Dr. CP here. 20 years ago, the Council did the same thing for my father, and never I would have thought that me and my colleagues would be here to send off Dr. CP. I find this, can I say, intolerable, very difficult to tolerate. I won't go through what Dr. CP was, because it has been said, but maybe his leadership, his kindness, he was such a kind man. And one thing nobody has spoken about, his smile, which he would give to anyone, whether high or low. And when he smiled, it looked as if the sun came out. It's the smile of a special person who is good inside. It comes out like that, and it came out with him. He followed my dad's footsteps in radiology, and as a board member of Lacho Hospital, I could really witness the work of Dr. CP and of his colleagues, Mr. Odong and Mr. Martin, in the board. And I can tell you what they don't know, because when there were the board deliberations on the future director, executive director of the hospital, we were all very worried, because we knew that Dr. CP was the only radiologist in northern Uganda. How can you appoint someone to be executive director of such a large hospital and take him away from radiology, which is also his life, his profession? So the decision was made to appoint a very strange directorship at Lacho, i.e. to have the executive director to lead, especially with his wisdom and his guidance, and for the very strategic things, but to put most of the workload of medical director and institutional director on the shoulder of his colleagues, so that Dr. CP would be more free to be a radiologist. So I need to thank Mr. Odong and Mr. Martin for all these years of having borne a lot of the tasks that should be tasked to the executive director in order to allow him to do what his job was, to be a radiologist for everyone. And that's the amazing thing about Dr. CP, was his care for everyone. And what he did, I cannot thank Miss Florence more, because if he could do something, then it is thanks to having a wife who supports him, or else a man would not be able to do that. And I thank the directors, including Pierre-Paul, administrator, and scientific director, Dr. Ochola, for being here and for
the Honorable Member of Parliament for Gulu City, the family represented by Ralph Chan, Justice, you all mourners who are here, Professor David Okelowin, the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of academic affairs of Gulu University. I stand here on behalf of the Council, the management, and the Senate of Gulu University. I also stand here on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, who is the head of Senate and management and who has traveled to Belgium. Honorable Speaker, allow me to start by thanking you and your council for honoring a man who has not been a politician, but a clinician and a trainer of medical personnel. It's rare that such persons are honored in this kind of a house, but this gesture is very, very important and makes each and every one of us works hard to achieve such an honor when we are not there. Number two, Honorable Speaker, Cyprian has been a staff of Gulu University, teaching our students of medicine. I would like to attest that the doctors that have been trained in Gulu University are excellent doctors. We have got feedbacks from all over the country, and I think this has come because of the knowledge that has been imparted by Cyprian and the other doctors in Lacho and Gulu University. May I request the doctors that have been trained in the hands of Cyprian to emulate his good deeds and carry on the light that he has lit. Number three, Honorable Speaker, Cyprian has been a clinician, as I said, a person of excellence. He has treated many far and wide. I got the testimonies here. I must say I'm one of them, but I can't go to the details of the treatment he gave me. I only learned one thing, that is an excellent person. He was. Now, to carry on his work, Gulu University has seconded and deployed 7 specialists to Lacho to help with the work, clinical work in Lacho, including training the medical personnel that come for training in Lacho. Finally, Madam Speaker, in the interest of time, Gulu University has a proposal to honor a man of excellence, a man of dedication, but I don't have the powers to declare what our proposal is here. Our proposal will go through our structures, through the council, and Madam Speaker, you will be informed accordingly. This also includes the proposal that has already been made about naming a block in the hospital that is yet to be built. Madam Speaker, don't have any doubts in me, this honor will come. Allow me to say that God gives and He is the one who takes away. And may the beautiful soul of Dr. Opira Cyprian rest in an everlasting peace. Amen.
Gulu University, we have the last speaker, and that is none other than Dr. Mone from Ministry of Health. We will bring the microphone back to council, where we will have the ex-officials who are also part of the council, who will also make a remark.
Madam Speaker, the honorable members of council, the woman member of parliament, Gulu City, the bereaved family, fellow mourners, I want to begin by making one correction. My name is Dr. Jackson Amone. I'm a retired commissioner from the Ministry of Health. I stand here, one, on behalf of the protocol committee, and two, I also want to say my medical profession started from Lacho Hospital, long during the time of the Curtis, and we benefited so much in the hands of Dr. CP, Dr. Don, Dr. Martin, and many others. And after a long tour of duty, I ended up at the Ministry of Health. And I became responsible for what Dr. Don said, the seconded staff from the Ministry of Health and the medical interns. From all what the council, members of council have said, and many people who have spoken, you will believe me that Dr. CP stands tall among the medical fraternity. He was a true doctor, or a medical doctor, by definition. Brilliant, but humble. Hardworking, yet he had time to mix with the community, including being the past president of the Rotary Club. And that is where his self, providing service above self. Madam Speaker, this is a true icon. And as I told you earlier, I stand on behalf of the medical fraternity. That is the medical doctors, the nurses and the midwives, the pharmacists, and all the allied health professionals. And these are people who look at CP as somebody who had been leading them. I want to thank so much the Honorable Council of Gulu City Council, one, for giving us this time, for honoring our own. This, we don't take it lightly. Amidst your busy schedule, you took more than 2 hours or 3 hours to sit here to honor Dr. CP. Please accept our sincere thanks. To all the promises that has been made here, naming a road in his honor, naming a roundabout in his honor. The Deputy Vice Chancellor has said, if it materializes, that naming a block in the medical, the hospital training institution in the university, that would be so great. As a medical fraternity, we also noted the comments that came. I want to say that the medical fraternity, with what we are and the legacy of Dr. Cyprian, we want to commit ourselves to the patients that are going to be in our care. we should serve with dedication so that the community will also honor our work the way we have today honored the work of Dr. Cyprian. With this, Madam Chair, I want to end here and again thank Gulu City Council for this time that they have given us. May the soul of our hero in earth rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, before with us, we have Reverend Father Romano Uma is also with us. Thank you for coming and being with us. Lastly, we have Reverend Father William Ochara is also with us. Thank you for coming. Honorable Member of Parliament, you came in a little bit late, but a number of proposals made, and I believe that with what you have heard, you can pick from there. And I pray that we have limited time. We are supposed to sit here only for 2 hours, but we have taken 3 hours. And other services are being hired, so we need to also honor their time. I will request you to stand up and speak. And then we bring back, we ask the town clerk to make this commitment. And the mayor, the deputy mayor, give the speech of the mayor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and the House. I am here to pay tribute to the family of the late Dr. Cyprian, to Gulu Archdiocese, and to us here in Acholi as a whole, and medical fraternity. That Wednesday when we lost him was a dark Wednesday. I wanted to go and check on him in Malawi. I was in Kampala. Tuesday I went to check on the son of the late Dr. Opira, who also passed away last Saturday. I only learned on Sunday that the son of the late Dr. Opira also passed away. It was very hard. He was in a hospital in Nalia. We talked a lot with the mother, and she told me about the late Dr. Cyprian. And I called somebody in Mulag Hospital and told me where he was. Then I said, okay, tomorrow in the evening, while going back home, I'll pass by. Only to see in social media his picture. Rest in peace. It was so hurting. People have said a lot. I came and found at least also saw what other people say from the mayor of Gulu, of Dignitary. I think I stand together with them, and also thank City Council for this honor. It is part of the befitting send-off. We are sad, but at the same time happy that we are actually giving him a befitting send-off. All of us remember how we sent off the late Dr. Opira. When we talk of the doctors of Lacho Hospital, the Cotis, then straight away we go to the late Dr. Opira. And then now, Dr. Cyprian. The late Dr. Opira was a very difficult send-off. But this one is a little bit better because we are here to honor him. And I want to thank everybody who gave a proposal, at least a proposal, other names of the roads, or is it blocks in some facilities, whether health facilities or in schools, with this name. This is beautiful. So that his memory continue to remain fresh in our minds. Dr. CP was a real professional doctor. These days, some medical workers really have to learn from doctor. They rarely touch even patients. This is very sad. If a patient dies because you have demanded something and the person doesn't have, then the blood of that person is on you. This has not happened with Dr. CP. So medical workers must know that when you are in the north here, you are working with very, very poor people. So sometimes you have to give consideration of life first, humanity. Dr. CP did his best. He was very humble, very kind, and a person of integrity. Our integrity these days is questionable. If we can emulate, if we can remember and then say, let me be like Dr. CP. When Dr. Opira died, I moved a lot in the communities, talking to children. And almost every children will say, if I study very hard, I want to be like Dr. Opira. I want to study and become a doctor. I said, you have to study hard. You make sure you concentrate. So, even those who are already big doing working, I'm not a health personnel, I'm a teacher by profession, but I worked also there as a secretary of health. When Ebola came, I was the secretary of health in Gulu district. I know people who are kind to their patients and people who are not kind to their patients. Please let us be kind like Dr. CP. I found when at least there was some proposal about upgrading health center 3s to health center 4s. It's very hard in the city with the land. At least we have health center 3 in Laibi. In Laibi area, we wanted it upgraded, be put in the upgrading to health center 4 this time. But because of land, this has not been possible. So sometimes when we struggle from up, from down also, we should make it easy for that kind of expansion. If our health center has to be upgraded, it means that it has to also have some more land, because you are going to have doctors in that health facility. So let us think about land, and whenever we talk about land, for facilities, especially for community facilities like health center, or medical facilities, education facilities, we should be willing, we should be able to make it a little easier, not so difficult for government to access that kind of help. I know that compensation is there, and it is by law. That compensation has to be there, but we should not make it too high. This is what I can say about upgrading. We have 4 health centers that we could upgrade to health center 4. The Laibi, the Peche, Laro, and Badege. We have all these 4 health center 3s which are ready for upgrading, but it is not possible. Well, there was something about is it CT scan? I think we need to follow it closely, because the question of CT scan came earlier before we even received CT scan in Gulu Regional Referral Hospital. And people started fundraising. I don't know where the fund that we raised, where the fund went. If the fund is there, then it's not enough for CT scan. Then we need to follow it up. Because there was even pledged by the president, I think, for CT scan in Lacho Hospital. We needed it yesterday. Very many people have to go to Izet Abe Hospital for that kind of help. It is very expensive for our people. So the death of Dr. Sikri should make us really start to deliberate and dialogue on the missing gaps, especially in our localities here in the city. I want to thank Gulu City. I cannot thank them enough for giving this, because some of us started thinking about it. Are we going to have? I remember discussing it with the mayor here. Mayor, in case Gulu City will not give the opportunity for doctor to be what? To be paid tribute to in Gulu City, then you who is in the division, please take it on. And he was ready to take it on. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. God has given doctor to us and gave Dr. us a big blessing, but he also wants him back. As a doctor, I always think doctors should not die young, because Dr. Cyprian is still young. When you are 60-something, you are still very young. You have just started your life. But God wants us back the way he wants, not the way we want. So he has taken him back. So there is nothing we can say. We may only just say, may his soul rest in eternal peace. I beg to submit.
Honorable Member of Parliament, Gulu City, Honorable Member of Parliament, I wish you had come earlier, because all the comment that you made need some responses. But I believe that in the next council meeting, you will be around when we are confirming this meeting. Because we can give you an extract, also take to different ministries, especially on the issue of the CT scan. I believe even the President himself made a pledge of 1 billion shilling towards the contribution of the CT scan. Right. So it will be prudent enough as Member of Parliament for Gulu City to follow it up. We are just making your work easier. And then secondly, on the issue of the health centers, I believe that all these health centers at least want to have space for extension of upgrading. And it is a cry, a big cry. Population of Gulu City is growing day and night. And we cannot just sit and say it's not possible. To me, I feel that government is bigger than all of us. And this is the voice of people of Gulu. And I pray that you take it up. Honorable members, let's get back here. I don't know, Dr. Basil, do we have motions that have not been supported? A number of them. Honorable Andrew proposed for this roundabout that is in front of Centenary Bank, which is still under the use of all care of Airtel, Uganda. We have other roundabouts that is still under our control, but we also have others that are on the road of Undra, which needs a write-up from the City Council, and I believe that we'll sit and discuss. The road committee should take this up, those roundabout, that we can use and place, or name it, in memory of our fallen doctor. I'm seeing under with a list of proposals again.
Madam Speaker, I take special recognition of the input of the gallery to the discussion of this council, noting that some of their recommendations are consultative and collaborative in nature. There was a suggestion of tree planting from Baadege City Division. I pray and also consider that this council fully accepts this proposal of tree planting while acknowledging that it is collaborative with Lacho Hospital. There was a proposal also from a councillor from Baadege about a learning and a teaching block for Gulu University Teaching Hospital be named after the late. We were advised by the management of Gulu University that this is still work in progress, considering the bureaucracies at institutional level. I pray that we respect that process and give it the time it needs. Number 3, also, Madam Speaker, there was a proposal that a monument be placed in the city, and this fully rhymes with the gazettation of a particular roundabout where a number of memories would be easily built. And then lastly, Madam Speaker, there was also a proposal from the dignitaries that a CT scan lobbying be kick-started by Gulu City Council. And we were also further advised by experts that beyond lobbying for a CT scan, we should also lobby for the functioning of the CT scan. So those were 2 sister advices that were given. And Madam Speaker, I am up to second that we lobby for a CT scan and for also the facilities to ensure that a CT scan is made in a good condition that can be able to run in our hospital. I'm up with those secondments, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much.
Honorable Susan.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, your table remained honored. I am also happy to second the motion moved by the gallery. One is about the placing of the monument that my colleague Honorable Andrew has talked about. I want to second by amending that the monument be put at the Custom Corner runabout with consultation with UNRWA. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And then also, a proposal has been made that a dormitory in Mary Immaculate be named after Dr. CP. Madam Speaker, I want to inform the House that that dormitory has already been named after Mego Penina Lamuno, who was the head teacher of Vanguard Primary School and was also a member of PAC, Gulu City Council. Madam Speaker, a proposal was also made that a portrait not only be put in the Gulu City or District Council Hall, but in all the District Council Hall of Acholi sub-region. We are well aware the Speaker has their own forum. Through you, Madam Speaker, please, I second that all the portrait of our dad, friend, brother, Dr. CP, be sent to all the District Council Hall. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, allow me also say, I want to thank my mama, the Honorable Member of Parliament of Gulu City, for all her submission. But also, I want the audience to know that Dr. Cyprian Opira, whom we all call him Dr. CP, is a dad, a brother, a friend to all of us here. As Gulu City Council would not fail to give him this moment to pay him the last tribute. It was a debate that the business and welfare of Gulu City Council sat and said, if possible, it was supposed to be a joint full council meeting with all the leaders of Acholi sub-region. But we saw it was the time wasn't all that enough with the consultation from the other district local government through the Speaker. I know the Speaker will speak about it, and we decided let us give him the last respect as Gulu City Council. But we use our forum for some of the resolutions that are going to be passed here to reach other local governments. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. May the soul of our beloved father, friend, Dr. CP, rest in eternal peace till we meet again. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, one proposal for tree planting. I also second it. But the prayer of having a baby boy, we don't always lie with gynecologists.
We are closing. Honorable members, thank you very much for your participation. Allow me run this honor to the town clerk to make some commitment, then we ask Deputy Mayor to come.
Honorable Speaker and members of Council, allow me to observe the established protocol. The personalities in here today who have come to pay tribute to the fallen doctor in your respective capacities. I salute you all for taking of time to come and pay tribute to Dr. Cyprian. Honorable Speaker, as the implementing arm of Council resolutions, I do make a commitment to follow up on the proposals made by Council in honor of the late Dr. Cyprian for implementation in liaison with your office, Honorable Speaker. I pledge to make ardent follow-up as an administration for implementation of the resolutions. Honorable Speaker, I thank you so much for organizing this council session, which was a well thought out idea in honor of our late doctor. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Bernard Bolot. I'm the Deputy City Clerk. Our City Clerk is out of station. I thank you very much.
My deputy is saying that he's not going to introduce himself. Before he introduces himself, you will allow me to invite the Deputy Mayor to give us the remark from his worship, and then my deputy introduce himself.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank you for giving me the shoes of His Worship the Mayor to make the final remarks on behalf of the entire leadership of Gulu City Council. I would like to thank everyone here present who spared his or her time to join us in paying tribute to our brother, the late Dr. CP. We also thank all those standing with the family. As council, we thought honoring Dr. CP with a special sitting is worthy of his contribution to the citizens of Uganda, and more especially the people of Acholi land. I would like all of us here to take back hope in the workable proposals made from both the council members and the members from the gallery in honor of Dr. CP. To the bereaved family, Mego Florence, pole sana. Lacho and Atiak fraternity, please, we urge you to find strength in the biblical teaching, however difficult it may be. Believe me, I do understand. Madam Speaker, it is now that through your honored chair, I would like to take this moment and read a condolence message from His Worship the Mayor of Gulu City, who is out of the country on official duty in Cairo. This is a condolence message from his reads as follows. The bereaved family of late Dr. Cyprian Opira, friends, relatives, and the mourners. Ref condolence message. On behalf of Gulu City leadership and my own behalf, we are deeply saddened by the passing of Dr. Cyprian Opira, a dedicated radiologist specialist who had worked tirelessly to provide health care to countless individuals in Gulu City, Northern Uganda, South Sudan, DR Congo, and the Greater Lake region. His unwavering commitment to serving the vulnerable communities affected by the Con insurgency exemplified his selflessness and compassion. Dr. Opira's contribution to the field of health care and his impact on the lives of so many will never be forgotten. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, colleagues, staff of St. Mary's Hospital, patients, and all those who were fortunate enough to have known him. May his legacy continue to inspire others to follow in his footsteps of service and dedication, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. Okwonga Alfred, Mayor of Gulu City. I thank you all.
Honorable members and the mourners who are here tonight, before I introduce myself, I would like to join all of you paying our tribute to a great man that nobody has disputed all that he has done for humanity. We live with people like him, and what bothers me is that we cannot change even when we see what they do. A lot of words and pieces of advice have been said here. How I wished that us who serve humanity in different points, in different areas of our daily lives, will emulate the good examples that have been said here. We know that the late CP, Dr. CP, is gone. We have got to celebrate his life. We have got to emulate what he has been doing when he was alive. Gulu City Council has had its share already to implement the resolutions that have been brought forward by both honorable members and the members in the gallery. For once, Madam Speaker, our office should take a lead in making sure that what we have discussed here are actually implemented, so that what my colleague, the Honorable Cindy Aye, has been talking about is not talked about anymore. Dear mourners, I am the Deputy Speaker of Gulu City Council. I am the male workers representative. My name is Akena Lamex Lambert.
Conclude and go to the last agenda item. Allow me once again thank each and everybody who has endeavored to be with us today. I also thank the contribution that you have rendered to ensure that we pay him the last respect. And I also appreciate all the leaders who have come and who has also given in their proposal. Await implementation. And I also pray that all the doctors that are here, I believe sometime you hear leaders talking bitterly about you while forgetting your contribution. When you make mistake, it becomes a big issue. But when you save life, nobody talks about it. It is a painful moment that right now we are sending home our friend, doctor, of which, as I stated in the morning, that I knew him 15 years ago. And I have his number, his personal number. And I believe doctor has only one number. And it's not me sharing information with anybody. So with this, you will also allow me to recognize the medical fraternity for all the effort that you have put in place. Working with you was a nice experience today, that each and everything that I said, it was implemented up to dot. Thank you very much. And the whole committee. And then also allow me thank the media team for broadcasting this thing alive. It is on YouTube. For us who are participating, we will not be watching, but later on you can watch it at your later time. And also thank the family members and friends. I believe this is a difficult moment, and I pray that may the Almighty God grant you the wisdom and the strength to mourn our father. My father was once a doctor, Dr. Kelalia, who is also late now. So I know what you people go through. Honorable members, as we come to the conclusion, before we conclude, I will also request one person from the committee to read us the next program. And when we are going for adjournment, members, I was requested if you are going to view the body. I said no, but I think it's the right time for us to view his body. So immediately after the adjournment, while I'll be laying the wreath, we'll view the body and I'll be marching out. Then other honorable councillors will follow me in that order, they know. And then the public will now join in. So with that, can we hear maybe the program from here? That one coming is our chairman, our City Service Commission.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, the honorable councillors, dear monarchs, ladies and gentlemen. Our program after this council session, we shall proceed to the family home in Baadege. From Baadege, Madam Speaker, we had, as a committee, agreed that we shall allow the monarchs and other members in the neighborhood who will join us this afternoon to view the body from home, so that tomorrow there will be no viewing of the body from the prayer venue. That is what we agreed yesterday as a committee. So after here, we shall all move to the family home, where there will also be a short prayer this evening for about 1 hour. The priest is here, and then after that the vigil will continue, and the rest of the other family members will spend the night at the family home. The travel arrangement is simple. The way you came here is also the way you are going to go home, if you should join us this evening. The route to the family home, for those of you who know Gulu airfield, you will follow that route to the airfield and then you will take the route going to Oitimo. Shortly after the home of General Saleh, that is where the family home is. I hope we can all find our way there. Pijama, work to go to the window, like Mama Berka Vacho, or Poy Wun Mobino, Combedicado Macantum, one will be a can, Wachero, a Gampulator, Bade airfield. Yo Machero Kunu, Kaimao, Machere Bade, Chikar Bade, Knock, and now you Machere Kulu Oitemo, Pierre Wood, Kulu Oitemo, Morgan, TikTok, and Woking. Yung malegoni in my bino ka ticket transport magwa kabuti ti iramo kono je mara mo chen kuno lega ma je chen bebe di pa ko bene kai me yok me wa o mete ti do malegoni mo du bim kono pia mara ma ti ma ko yo bi un bien o jon ki de lo meno di pa ma nere ka do program kuno da ko bi me ne ki ko to ma ko kuno lega dili ja chawa ngwen ki kome ci wonde ko da block chawa ngwan ki come da bedo ila cho inya gamban pa nases kai ko ila cho che ma ko rio ma charpe ci be te roi wala bien chon bien da ko cha ko chawa ko to one. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, thank you for your active participation. I thank everyone with the power that have been conferred upon me by the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and the Local Government Act. Allow this full council meeting be adjourned and it's in the house adjourned. Funeral service? Funeral service?
No one was paying about it. It's not a money. I'm wonderful. I'm going to show you the photograph. Really come back. I'm going to show you one project. That's not really the opinion. Begin holding anti-opinion. But what happens in the background? What do you think that happens? It's like, it's not like I'm ending.